the only person in the cosplay. it's a group of one. But I've been doing a lot of nutrition stuff for years and such like that. Was vegetarian like better part of
Forever.
2 decades. Yeah. But anyway, so not much to tell other than just that. Go Jesus.
Hi, I'm Jesus, or Jesus, if you're offended by the name, whatever. I'm the owner of a Dream Productions, a film company, and I am studying to become a personal trainer, like this guy. It's really hard. Yeah, screw the body. No lie, the personal trainer's test was probably one of the hardest tests I've ever taken in my life. I walked into the center where you take the test, and they told me it's as hard as the 3rd test to become a doctor.
Dang.
I believe only 1/3 of people actually pass it on their first time.
So, Carl, what is ectomorphic, mesomorphic, or endomorphic bodies? Would you like to explain that to?
No, you can't, because I haven't taken the test in a long time. I'm not going to use that.
Pretty much, there's a lot of body types out there. You're either born really tall and skinny, doesn't matter how much you eat, you'll never gain weight. It's very hard to gain weight. You can just be born very heavy and it's really hard for you to lose weight. Or you're born like this guy and you just look athletic no matter what you do.
Complete and total lie, I swam for like 5 years non-stop.
He's never even like lifted. I mean, those muscles are just for show, they're possibly muscles.
Possibly muscles.
So, it's the thing that a lot of people are like, well, I've been working out for like forever and I can't lose, my love handles. Well, that's because when you start gaining weight, the first place you start gaining weight is going to be the last place you start gaining weight. That is just how your body works.
Wait, like
that makes no sense.
Yeah, I was
No,
like,
like if you start gaining like this, this is where I have a lot of weight, right?
Yes.
So this is gonna be the hardest part of my body to lose weight.
Okay,
You said it backwards then. Yeah, the first place that you gain weight is the hardest place for you to lose weight.
Yes.
That.
Words, you did.
Yeah, dyslexia.
It is a thing.
I thought dyslexia meant that you couldn't spell.
Or you have troubles with numbers and stuff that confuse things backwards.
Now that's not to say that like, oh, you're born a certain way and then you're kind of just stuck forever that way. It just means that you either have to put more or less effort into attaining a body type of a certain kind.
It just means don't give up, guys.
Yeah.
What was the rule of thumb that it takes 2 weeks for you to notice a small change in your body, 4 weeks for your close friends and family, and 6 weeks for the outside world to notice a change in your body. So keep doing it. You're gonna show results. Hi,
And
friend.
if you're not
See, whenever somebody walks in, all I do is like acknowledge them, and that makes them stay a little bit longer.
You should sit down.
Well,
Yeah,
watch
sit
it
down.
slowly back
Look,
away.
This is
My
less
stuff
of
is
a.
in the other panel room.
See what?
My stuff is in the other panel room.
Oh, then go grab it real quick. But
Yeah.
but come back. I'm gonna remember your face. You better come back.
Because I wanted to go to both of them, but they were scheduled at the same time.
I can tell you this one's gonna be more fun.
Yeah,
We have biceps.
The other one, like buddy, I was like, I don't know how to talk.
We have a soda. Well, then come back. Come back. We have a wonderful
I'll
time.
be right back.
Yeah.
Who wants a soda? Not open.
I know, look at how many VIPs we have in this room.
Okay. So then I'm gonna give you guys a fun fact real quick. He just put a soda up there. It is bad, but the thing you need to know about sodas is dark sodas are the worst. They actually have an acid in them that breaks down muscles. Okay? The only things that you can actually get away with are light sodas and root beer. Those two do not have the acid to break down muscles. See, knowledge. Knowledge. You want me to use big words like proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation? Hey, he's back! It's less of a panel, more of a forum.
Yeah.
I would like for you to explain. So why does this person who lifts weights all the time, exercises, eats correctly, why do they look so good? Why are they look pretty?
Well, it's because they did everything of what you just said.
Yes, but what does that trigger them on? Come on, you're the one that taught me this.
Again, why do people assume I have memory?
I don't know what they're talking about. I'm just gonna look here and just sit and hire.
Is that the answer?
Yes, that's the answer.
Oh.
It's like we haven't done this panel at least 15 times already.
Well, see, the thing is that there's an equal balance. Not just like you can work out all you want, but if your nutrition is not good, it's like you're fighting against yourself. Likewise, if your nutrition is great, but you're doing little to no physical activity, again, you're not actually like, you know, there's no synergy between the two. So oftentimes what will happen is you'll have people like lifting like crazy, going to the gym nonstop, but they feel burnt out, and you're like, why am I so tired all the time? It's because you're literally eating away at everything inside of your body that allows you to function correctly, because it's desperately trying to recuperate. So you have to be able to supplement it correctly, not with supplements, contrary to popular belief. It's just a basic good nutrition. Now, on top of that, if you want to like go above and beyond, usually like bodybuilding, then you usually have to try and supplement it.
Because you can't eat that much food for what your body needs to recover.
Also, that's not exactly a natural thing that you're putting your body through, so yeah.
It depends on what you're doing, because I can tell you guys right now, the very first energy source the body goes to is called adenosine triphosphate. What the adenosine triphosphate, what it does is that's really short sprints and bursts and things like that. It's not very much. Now then after that, it goes into creatine phosphate. Creatine phosphate, it actually helps burn a little bit more fat things, but you really want to get past that. That's about 30 seconds to a minute, maybe 90 seconds up. And then right after that, it actually starts to go into the carbs and sugars and things. Now, the reason it takes a lot longer to actually get to those carbs and sugars and things is because everything else takes one chemical reaction in order to use. The carbs and the glucose and everything else, the enzymes, take 11 separate reactions in order to actually use.
Science.
Therefore, it's a lot harder to get to the ones that are actually stored as, like I said, the carbs and sugars.
Those are going to be the last ones that your body actually hits.
So you need to be able to work out more than that 30 seconds to get that cardio up. Now, the number one measure of how healthy a person is their cardio. Muscle building, stretching, anything like that, nothing like that will actually help you in the long run, pretty much as far as living a longer life, okay? Like you can have the best amount of stretching, you could be the biggest, burliest guy in the world, but if your heart is crap, it's not gonna put out for you guys. And when something doesn't put out for you, you know, you just get away from it. That's why I'm getting away from you.
Little by little by little.
Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much a whole bunch of fun fact knowledge right there.
Yeah, 'cause some people will be like, well, I mean, like, no offense, but that is perhaps the number one thing that most people hate is the whole cardio. You know, they're like, I'll lift all day, you know, little bits here and there, maybe a couple of sprinting here and there if I have to. Oh, I'm out of breath. Oh, whatever, I'll put it off for later. That is something you just don't want to skip, cardio. Now, that being said, the order in which you do things does make a difference.
If you want to lose weight, you should, it takes, what, 30 minutes or so for actually metabolism to start burning into?
No, if you go for upwards of 6 to 15 minutes, then that is good for you. The thing is, you need to be able to actually hit that point and do better than it later on, though. Because what many people don't know is muscles in a certain area you lose if you don't use them within 3 days. So if you don't lift in 3 days, the muscles start to degrade. But with cardio and things, once you actually get into it and get to that point where you can use it, it takes 2 weeks for your cardio to start going down if you don't use it. So why aren't you doing cardio? Because literally, once you're actually at the point where you can do it, and you can go for a 30-minute run, you could do it once a week pretty much, and it will stay at the point where it is.
Now, getting to that point
It's hard.
is difficult.
I used to swim for 5 hours a day when I was back in high school. I was the tiniest, geekiest person. I got cut from the team my very first year because I was so bad. Okay, I had asthma. I had so many things wrong with me. I would throw up after every single practice. But I tried, and by my senior year, I had 2 Olympic qualifying times. Fun facts. You just have to try and put your heart into something, and you can get there.
Just keep going, keep going.
Yes!
What are your views on carnivore diets? Because
I eat a lot of meats.
We eat a lot of veggies.
They do the whole veggie thing.
I think Jesus does both, and I don't eat meat.
Because I was a swimmer in high school, another fun fact that I'm going to spew out there, during high school, that's when you set your metabolism. Around the 14 to the 18 range,
Yeah.
however active you were at that time in your life, is where your metabolism is basically going to be for the rest of your life.
And trying to change that is so difficult.
Another question.
So, actually going off of that, I'd like you to educate me on my own body because I even don't fully understand now. I have tried to gain weight in both negative and positive ways.
Okay.
I am currently 150 pounds, and I decided for a 2-month period, I'm going to try just to gain a single pound. I ate fast food every day, and oh god, it was horrible.
Okay.
Did not gain a single pound. But
I can tell you right now.
maybe something a little background though, because as you said, at high school time is where you set your metabolism.
Yeah.
I've always been an active child. I was in baseball, mountain biking, karate, and rock climbing.
Okay.
Rock climbing I stayed in for 4 years, and that was the best sport I've ever been in. And as far as workouts go, I'd say that's the best thing to go into for casual stuff. But I haven't really worked out in maybe about 5 years now, and
You haven't really gained weight, you haven't lost it, anything like that?
No,
Go ahead and walk
not
up
yet.
here. Come here. Come here.
Show and tell time. No.
Okay, so can anybody point out the differences in him and me? What is the difference between our body types?
He's slightly shorter.
Okay, for one, he's shorter. For another, we both have pretty basic builds, okay? Depending on the build of your body is how much weight you can and can't gain. I could get up to about 200 pounds. I'm gonna look slightly at 200 pounds. I don't wanna do that, okay? I wanna have an athletic build. He could put on maybe another 20 pounds and he would look completely fine. I'm at 170 right now. Him at 170, he would look built, okay? Me at 170, I just look athletic. That's the main difference, is that your body type is different than my body type. What works for you works differently. For the whole fast food thing, with what you're trying to do, it's completely wrong. I'm not trying to bust you out here, but what you need to do is you need to eat certain things, but use them in a certain way.
okay.
Because if you just put it in your body, but you don't use it,
It just goes away.
it just goes away.
Right, and as I said, I tried in both positive and negative ways. So in exercise, workout-based ways, and also there's like, I'm going to become a couch potato for the next 2 months.
Exactly, you don't want to do that. What you need to do is, yes, you can take some supplements. GNC offers certain things like creatine phosphates. It depends on who you are, what you're trying to do. Like, if you're trying to gain that weight, yes, I would recommend a creatine phosphate that you take once a day kind of thing. They offer little pill packs. I'm not telling you to go get them, but
Now here's the difference though. When you say I'm trying to gain weight, do you mean I'm trying to gain like fat, or am I trying to build up? Because muscle and fat way differently.
It was, right, and I'm aware of that. It was a personal experiment. Sorry, I almost said experience. It was a personal experiment because I've known since I was like 8 years old that my metabolism was through the roof. Because I was the kid that ate 6 full course meals a day with 5 snacks in between.
me too.
My parents had a hard time feeding me. They told me that to my face when I was a child. I literally one time ate 2 large pizzas on my own in about 20 minutes when I was 9 years old. But,
Now here's the thing, and this is just, okay, so like let's say that you try the whole negative thing where you sit on the couch and just kind of like do nothing,
and
right?
also the workout version, yes.
Chances are, this is what's happening for both of those, and Carl can corroborate if I'm right or wrong. All right, so
I'm the fact checker.
he's the fact checker.
You're wrong.
So
The
whenever
person
you
that's-
basically were just kind of sitting doing nothing, what was actually happening is your body was going through atrophy, and you were losing your muscles, which actually lost you the weight. So you were becoming like skinnier. No matter how much more you ate, your body metabolized it all, got rid of it, and you were actually just losing muscle from inactivity. Now, exercising, what could happen there, probably did happen, is you would work out. Your body is not just metabolizing the food that you brought in, but also burning extra, maybe even the muscles as well, burning that off, because it's trying so hard to compensate for the lack of more food not coming in. You see what I mean?
Because
That's actually happened to him.
I went 100%, well not 100%, I went as close to raw as you could be when I lived in San Antonio, and I was doing insanity, and I did it every single day. I ran 3 miles a day, and I'm like, why am I losing muscle and becoming so skinny? Oh, I'm not eating enough protein.
Not anywhere near. Like, yeah, tomatoes have protein. Yeah, I mean, every vegetable you can imagine has protein, but
Not enough for
No.
that type of
Not
workout.
at that concentration.
So what may be happening with you, it's actually a nutritional problem. You're not eating the correct things, like he was saying, in order to keep up with what you're actually trying to do.
in which the thing is that no body is the same. That's why there's people like Carl that study a lot and go to school to learn, and we need to talk to you for about 3 hours to identify exactly what the problem is, because you can't lie to us when you say, what do you do every day? What do you eat? How do you work out? When you work out, is this constant? Does this fluctuate? Because based on those things, then we'll try a workout routine with you and a nutrition plan. We'll check on that. Are you improving? Are you not improving? Why are you improving?
Is there a medical condition we are not aware of?
I've been doing this scheduled workout routine.
So like there's a million factors on that, and at the end of the day, it could just be you're a freak and we don't know.
Well,
Oh, I can also tell you right now that doing a protein intake before or after a workout, 1 hour before or 1 hour after, will actually help too, because the body is more able to absorb the protein into your system and put it in the right areas. Okay,
Yeah.
there's that, and then you need to do high weight, low rep.
Yeah.
So you need to do about between 5 to 8, I'd say, kind of reps at probably 80 to 100%. A lot of the time, you're probably gonna have to do a lot of what's it called? Just maxing out, pretty much.
Right.
Where
Just don't burn yourself out on that risk.
no, actually, you kind of when you're trying to do it's not failure.
It's for
Yeah,
his,
yeah, it's volition is what
Yeah,
it
for his
is. You have to
particular
work
thing.
out to volition a lot of the time, so that afterwards, your very next workout, you can do more. Okay, and so
that's actually how I trained for Philmont. Have you heard of Philmont? It's a 2-week-long hiking, high adventure. Just I can't even get my this anymore. But yeah, I hiked like a total of 100 miles, a few thousand feet, 10,000 feet, something like that. And this is before I had my growth spurt, so I weighed about 85, 90 pounds. Well, so you're supposed to carry about 1/3 to half your weight max. I carried 120 pounds, and that's with everything compressed. And that was for a 2-week period, and I was still ahead of everyone else and not injured.
So yeah, I'd recommend you go ahead and do a bunch of workouts, but every once in a while go ahead and actually doing a workout where you work your muscles to volition, which means basically do as many reps at a high weight as possible until you can't anymore. Don't hurt yourself,
Right.
yeah.
but pretty much go until you can't anymore. And then,
Or if you can't keep the proper form, because people
Yeah,
will keep
yeah.
going
And it
and hurt yourself.
because
Yeah. yeah,
And just
but that'll just help you go more later on. Pretty
Right.
much.
from a note from another personal trainer friend of mine, DeCal, you're not actually using your muscles until the last 2 reps. So if you're pumping 10, at 8, 9, 10 is when you're actually doing progress. The rest of it is just you're getting ready for that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but definitely try your nutrition.
These two that made me ask you which drugs are good for working out.
None.
I'm pretty sure some good drugs. I've seen someone do cocaine before, and they ran on a pool for like 3 hours.
Yeah, but it's you do supplements and steroids and all that stuff, you'll get an increase. You will, because you're going to, but it's destroying your body.
Yeah,
It's a temporary one right now.
Pros, and I looked at it, it's basically just like some Asian Viagra or something. It's literally all the good
I mean,
ones
you'll I guess.
Also, let's not forget the placebo effect.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah,
times,
that's what these two do. These two smoke
He's
pot.
talking
They
about
lift.
Jerry.
They lift each other.
I don't lift anything.
And then they
Are
get
you
tired.
kidding me? I never work out ever.
What
If you can mellow out and start lifting,
Why don't you
that's
come to Ponyville working out?
a
and
different
killing
type of
yourself?
person.
I'm gonna learn, okay? I'm a good student.
You got like infinite muscle mass.
did anybody have any questions? If not, we're just gonna keep going anyway.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Yeah? Oh, yes.
I have a question about weight loss. What's a good rate of weight loss? Because I've lost like 35 pounds since January, so I was wondering if that's too fast or not.
Usually you don't like,
A month is like
No.
No, a week.
2 pounds a week
Sorry,
is
yeah.
pretty much the max you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But some people, like we were saying, their bodies are just different.
Yeah.
You're alive right now, so you're good.
So
Pretty much as long as your body has a-
year is like less than 2 pounds a week.
Now,
Yeah.
now here's the thing. If you're losing about you have a particular plan set up, you're kind of working it, you're doing your stuff, and you're losing about 2 pounds per week, then you should be fine. If you're losing twice as much as that, then you may be going into the realm of this is maybe unhealthy, or maybe you actually have a medical condition that you did not know about it. Like, oh hey, check
I've
that
got
out.
to take work.
Yeah, like, because that will totally make you lose weight.
Unless you're fasting
all
or
of a sudden-
something, then yeah.
Yeah, if you're fasting, and then that right there does a bell curve, like nothing, Jesus, and then oh my god, yes. So,
They got really excited about fasting.
I can tell you guys right now that one of the worst things to do is to skip a meal. Okay?
yes.
Because what's gonna happen is
Oh,
your
can I
body.
go to that? Can I go to that?
Go right
I love that. This is why I keep eating. Okay.
Guys, eating, there's food. My friend told me to bring them. Please take them.
Yeah, please come get some if you want. Okay, so what happens is we were talking about setting your metabolism, right? Like that generally happens whenever you're around high school. Now, just because you set your metabolism does not mean that you can't not change it. It just means that it's really, really difficult. Okay, so the whole concept on why you don't want to skip a meal is the body is perhaps the most perfect creation ever made in adaptability. It will adapt.
That I think Wolverine has.
Exactly, yeah. Okay, so what ends up happening is you'll eat a meal. Your body will register this as, congratulations, you have fed yourself. We'll store some of this away. We'll use some of this as energy right now. Great. We're expecting the next meal. You eat again, the same thing happens, and that's called life. If you skip a meal, your body all of a sudden registers, oh, there was no food. What's going on? Oh,
We're
crap.
starving.
We're starving. Is this a famine? Because, our brains are still mostly programmed like the ancient times of when we were Neanderthals and all that type of stuff. And when famines would hit, what would happen? Like, what happens with bears whenever they eat, and then go sleep? They have to build up all this fat, right? So what ends up happening is your body registers it as you're going into starvation mode. And so what it'll do is it'll start to store all the food that you eat as like energy that it can use later, aka fat. So when you start skipping meals, your metabolism actually starts to go down. And so when you do eat the next time, and this isn't something that just happens because you skip one meal. This is over time, okay? Don't freak out. But you do this a couple of times, and your body is very smart. It'll register these things, and little by little, it'll start to store this as fat more often. So you'll either need to start changing the way you eat to try and like go back onto your normal plan, which, like I said earlier, changing your metabolism for the good is hard. Changing it for the bad, surprisingly simple.
Not for me.
Can't go eat food for God's sake.
I'm so sorry. I eat like crap. I just have to apologize to the world that I eat horribly,
Yeah,
but
and-
somehow I have.
Just wait 20 years. Just wait 20 years.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Carl,
I'm the same way.
when we compare nutrition,
There are exceptions.
yeah, because I used to be almost 300 pounds when I was in high school. I was a fat D&D nerd who ate an entire pizza by myself, and I'm gonna sit here and read a book, and that's all I did. I was not active at all. Carl was very active. His metabolism was awesome right now. So I'm here eating a salad, trying to, eat properly, and Carl's eating.
I'm at Freebird's eating a super monster.
Which he knows he can.
And
And
then
then
food coma.
And then you're like, and if you're in my position where you're trying to lose weight or to gain healthy, and you're like, why compare yourself? Like, why is this guy or why is this gal? She looks so good. He looks so good. They have a different store than you do. They have a different lifestyle.
Don't compare yourself
Yeah,
to others.
don't-
guys.
yeah,
Everybody has a
everybody's
story. Everybody
Yeah.
has a different body. You have a fantastic beard. I could never do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you.
Oh, me.
Yeah,
The
like,
one with
I couldn't do that. That's a different story. He has a fantastic beard. I couldn't do that. I have too much of a baby face.
It's gonna take some work, guys.
Yeah.
For me, it was like I was horrible at nutrition and exercise. It took me 19 years to destroy my body. It's going to take a little bit to fix it back up.
Remember, everybody's body's different. I have a hairy ass. It's weird. I know.
You too? No.
I was kidding. Thank you, Doug.
And
that comes to the section.
Who wants to shave her?
But like I'll give a quick little backstory to mine.
To your hairy ass.
Yes, to my hairy ass. This is very pertinent to this panel. But okay.
Not 18 up, by the way. I'd like to point that out.
So just to go off of the whole like everybody is different. Everybody has a different backstory.
My ass isn't hairy.
Yeah, your ass is not hairy.
It's all on your head.
But it's all over your body redirected its power. But so like I never liked meat. The taste of it, I just don't like. Some people don't like peanut butter. Some people don't like a particular vegetable. I just don't like the taste of meat. So when I was a little kid, I would just avoid it. Like I would be like, can I have more broccoli, please? And they'd be like, you strange child. So what ended up happening is I grew like my whole childhood up until, no joke, like not even 5 years ago is when I finally really started eating meat. And as a result, while I was growing up, my metabolism developed differently than people.
Than people.
I'm actually a chicken.
Young Finn is actually a chicken, guys.
Don't let her
Little
fool you.
known, you guys are privileged to this information. All right, so what ended up happening with me is I have to constantly eat because my body got used to the whole like, there's very little like, there's not a lot of like fats, oils, that type of thing that other people are like, well, anyway. What ended up happening is now whenever I do eat meat, it can, like the first time I ate meat, it sent me into a 2-day-long like coma. On the second day, they were...
I got something to say. Well, first of all, other beard guy, you can move up now. There's lots of room.
Look, VIP area.
Yeah, we have a couch. There's a couch right here with VIP area. It is.
Yeah, so the moral of the story is everybody's different, everybody has different backstories. I'll continue.
Yeah, I wasn't
Yeah,
done yet.
continue.
So I'd recommend that if you are planning on doing like vegetarian diet or anything like that,
Know your nutrition.
know what you're eating because if you stay off of red meats for a year or more, your body won't be able to process it anymore.
Yeah, I'm kind of screwed now. Which is fine, because I don't care. I don't like the taste.
You know how people get like IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, from milks and things if they're slightly lactose intolerant? That's what you'll get with red meat if you don't eat it for more than a year. So be careful about that. And then as far as nutrition goes, I'd recommend, because a lot of people ask me how many calories should they eat a day, never go under 1,200. Never, no matter what, your body will eat itself.
Literally.
Is
Like,
it dangerous to live like a carnivore? Like, because that's like 90% of the food I eat is meat.
I mean, it's not that it's bad. It just depends on what.
No, it
type
is bad.
Yeah.
It is
Well,
bad.
The quality of the meat.
I can-
Eating meat is not bad.
Well, no, I can tell you the exact proportions that you're supposed to eat. I'll tell you that in a second. But going along with my whole calorie thing,
Yeah, we'll
I
get to that in a
recommend
second.
if you're trying to lose weight, then go ahead and eat probably about 5 to 6 meals a day, 200 to 300 calories. Okay,
in
that's
other words, lots of small little meals throughout the day.
it helps you, it helps your body, and you're able to lose weight that way. Your body is a lot more easily able to process everything going from one meal to another. Now, going along with the whole proportions thing, they actually took the food pyramid and completely blew it up, okay? We don't use the food pyramid anymore. It's gone. It's old news.
The food pyramid was actually nothing more than lobbyists back in the 70s and 80s paying tons of money to get things differently shaped to profit, like school systems and all that other stuff. So it's actually very, very terrible. Please don't pay attention to the food
Anyways, no politics.
Yeah.
So, what we use now is a 3-quadrant plate system. You know those plates that they have? It's like a smiley face with one section, like big smiley, and then the 2 eyes, they're like, yeah! So, what you do is you take that plate.
This is the right panel.
Anyways, what you do is you take that plate and you actually move certain things around on it, and in the quadrant that has the 50%, you put fruits and veggies, okay? Those are very interchangeable. And then in the 25% up here, you put wheats and grains and carbs and things like that. And the other 25%, you do proteins and meats.
Now, just because, notice how we said proteins and meats, because not only meat has protein. Common misconception. Lots of things have protein. You just have to eat a lot more of it usually in order to make up the same amount. That's not always true, but that's usually how it goes.
And then this is a fun fact that everyone will probably get mad about. Not at me, not this time. Don't worry. Sorry.
I still blame you.
They always blame me. I'm so sorry. Blame Carl. We have a hashtag going around, by the way, that's called Better Than Carl. So whenever you post it, just put hashtag Better Than Carl.
When you're working on just better than Carl.
Ooh, better than Carl. 2 better than Carl. 3 better than Carl. Question better than Carl.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so this just kind of popped in mind. Somewhat. No, it's not really sci-fi anymore, I guess you could say. But if it got to a popularity point where you could just take a meal's dose in a syringe and just inject yourself with it, could a person actually survive that way their entire life, not actually physically eating anything? So you just get all the nutrients like that, but you have no substance?
Well, here's the problem. Theoretically, yes, but in practicality, no, because your digestive system has to function. So it will still be functioning, it'll be just on
I got
empty.
found, guys.
So it'll be like, for example, say, okay, you inject yourself, you have the nutrition inside of you now, right? Your stomach is still producing acid. Over time, if there's nothing in there, what happens with the stomach, because it's actually like a giant rubber band, it'll become smaller, and it'll just keep producing like gastric juices and all this stuff, and this will cause all sorts of problems with your intestines, with your esophagus, with your body in general, like your endocrine system will mess up also probably. Like it'll just be all these other things that are just related to you not eating, not to mention the supposed nutrition from the, theoretical injection of nutrients. You actually cannot have certain things injected into your bloodstream. They must be processed through the digestive tract, things such as like fats and oils or...
Oh god, if you were to inject that into your bloodstream,
you die.
Just die.
And your body needs that to survive. That's also a common misconception. Avoid all oils, avoid all fats. No, you need this stuff to live. So
it's natural for a reason, guys.
Yeah.
The cornstarch your body can process. It's okay. It's natural.
So yes, so you die pretty much. After a while, you die.
Right. Well, I guess I should have specified. I meant more like stomach injections.
Yeah, it's called your mouth.
I guess my younger brother, especially he had a tube just going straight into his stomach, not through the throat or anything, just straight in, so that we could tube feed him when he was much younger.
Okay.
So that's kind of how this question originated, because I'm wondering if he still did that to this day. He's now 19 years old.
Yeah. It would
if
still
he
work.
continued.
Yeah. Because
So
it's
even
using
though-
the digestive tract.
Even though there's no actual like substance, it's just liquid, it would still work.
Yeah.
Is this process a lot easier?
You gotta be really careful with liquid diets and things too, because that can actually mess up your body. Juicing is usually what it's called, and
You have to keep, if you are going to juice, you must follow a specific order. You can only do it for X amount of time, otherwise it starts to have effects on your body.
Yeah, so a lot of people are really fast. The juice train and all that, you have to ease into it, then you have to ease out of it. You can't just, I'm going to drink only juices right now. Your body can't handle it if you ate meat yesterday.
It goes into starvation mode, that type of
Yeah.
thing. Or if you try to get out of it halfway through, your body goes into shock,
Yeah.
and it can technically kill you.
Yeah, just in case you are trying to do juicing, because if you
Know
don't,
what you're doing before you
yeah,
decide to do
because
it.
she has horror stories on people who have actually died doing juicing. Just try, the easiest thing is start easing away from meat, eat veggies, eat softer veggies, eat soup, smoothies, juice, a little bit of water, and then reverse that
it.
in order, and then you'll be fine.
Yeah,
But
it was
again,
just,
you still need to know what you're doing.
right, it was just out of curiosity, just
Yeah.
like knowledge that I wanted.
okay, so back onto the whole, you're gonna get pissed off about this thing.
Oh, I love these parts.
So here's a bag. It's a bag full of food. What you don't know is what they do with the nutritional stuff. Okay? Most of the time, what you want to look for on a nutritional fact sheet is the amount of calories and then calories from fat. Okay? Like that's pretty easy to remember. The thing is, you want to make sure that you eat less than 30% fat. Okay? So when you're actually on here, they have it in percentages now. Okay? This has 0% fat, meaning it's really good for you. Anything above 30% is really bad for you. Okay? Try to keep it under that. Now what you don't know is that with hams and things like that and other things that come in packages, they'll say low fat or 5% fat. What you guys don't know is the companies also weigh the water contents and the packaging.
Yeah.
So whenever it says 5% fat, it could actually be 40, 50% fat. But the thing is, they weighed the packaging and the water content too in it. So when it says that, you look on the back, okay? Be sure to do that, because they do lie to you,
A lot.
but in a weird, loophole-ish kind of way. Okay, another thing you want to look for is sodium. Make sure to not take more sodium than one day. It can, it'll have the percentage on it and everything. Go ahead and make sure that you never go over 100%. Like, every once in a while, over 100%. Yeah, sure, I do it every once in a while. But whenever you actually go over 100% for multiple days, it can affect your heart. And it can affect cholesterol and things like that.
Okay, so another thing that you should always try to do. I'm come down here with carbs. I'm cool.
I'm going back on here.
Okay, so besides looking at the nutrition facts, which is very important, you also don't pay attention to this. Pay attention to the ingredients list. Because oftentimes what they say up here is not at all what is actually in the ingredients.
100% organic, free range. It's just words.
Like a lot of people don't know that, but the FDA that like supposed to monitor all this, yeah, they don't. And so something can actually say like organic, yeah, it doesn't have to be. So don't pay attention to any of that stuff.
Specific senators that try to deliberately keep them doing that stuff.
Oh yeah, it's all sorts of stuff. So like, okay, so here we have, sunflower seeds, yay, this is great, right? Okay, so we turn it over. The very, very second ingredient is salt. Now, I want to go ahead and point out that there's at least 50 ingredients on this ingredients list.
Doug, this is God.
I mean, guess God?
I put those 50 ingredients in there.
Really? You produced monosodium glutamate?
No shit.
But
Just believe.
just believe.
Just believe in me. Believe in me, Doug.
Oh, they put cheddar cheese stuff in here.
No, I did it.
So the whole point is make sure to check out the actual ingredients list and try to keep it as simple as possible. If you want sunflower seeds, if the ingredients list is like 50 things long and the second ingredient is salt, you usually don't want to go with that.
So if you're shopping for stuff, by the time, since every single grocery store usually is the exact same, H-E-B's, Walmart's, wherever place you shop at, you go in there, there's fruits and veggies, and they have the frozen section where all the meats and whatnots and cheeses are. When you pass that, there's an entire other aisle with brands and things in boxes and bags. By the time you leave that aisle with fruits and veggies and meat and stuff and cheese, and sometimes bread, when you leave that, your cart should be completely full. If most of the stuff that you're getting is from the other stuff that has logos on it and brands, they're bad for you. That's why they have logos and brands, because they just want money. They don't care. Farmers care. They want their crops good. Those are bees.
Another fun fact from God over here, just saying. Trans fats are horrible for you because the body can't process them. Yes, we'll go with that.
We'll go with that. So a lot of people are also, like, oh, well, I'm trying to have a low-fat diet. That is actually, it's a hit and a miss because it depends on what you mean by fat. That's kind of like saying I'm trying to have a low-food diet.
Yeah,
It's
food's
like,
bad
how
for you.
does that, wait, what?
I'm just saying something on top of it. Soda.
The
Yeah,
best
that-
way to lose weight is to go on a paleo diet.
Well,
Eat like a caveman.
I was gonna say, are you eating dinosaurs?
well, see, the thing is, if a diet has a name, chances are it's what's known as a fad diet. The paleo diet could also be a fad diet. It could have a basis for like really, really good techniques or really good eating habits, but it could also not. So if you're trying to do a diet and it's like has a name to it, chances are it's a fad diet, and within 5 years
But
somebody's
the
gonna
thing
come
is,
along and
that's
say that was
the-
the worst thing ever.
I mean, diet, I don't like the word diet because diet just means what you eat. So
Yeah.
just eat real food, eat sparingly, eat all colors of the rainbow, try to put veggies in there.
Now, believe it or not, going off of that whole like eat what the caveman ate, believe it or not, but most cavemen ate like fruits, vegetables, and nuts, not grains, but like nuts. And then if they could, every now and then, very rarely, they would eat animals.
You know anything hard is to kill an animal with just a crude spear?
That's saber-tooth tiger, though.
After that, they had no refrigeration.
Yeah, they had to eat it quickly, and it had to spread to everyone, and yeah, I mean...
So it could be like weeks before they would eat meat again. So it was mostly just fruits,
Because, yeah, I know what you're
vegetables,
talking about, the
and
paleo
nuts.
diet. There's a whole bunch of my friends are like hardcore into the parkour scene of like, yeah, we're gonna run everywhere, we're gonna eat like cavemen. I'm like, yeah, that's not kind of strict.
So yeah, they actually brought up a really good point. A lot of diets that are out there are fad diets, and down the line they will actually find many things wrong with them, and you'll find people have actually been hurt by the diet, and they will sue the people that created the diet.
And then you'll never hear from the diet again.
Yeah.
But my
It's happened to a lot
paleo
of
dish
us.
at night is I mix spinach with sardines.
Well,
That's kind of...
That sounds so nasty.
It's actually better than it sounds.
Oh.
It actually mixes well together.
Okay, I'll take your
And
word
that's
for it.
ac-
I'm not gonna
and
try it,
that's
but I'll take your word for it.
And like since my 20th birthday, I've lost 40 pounds.
That's awesome.
Good for you.
awesome. Yeah. Like I said, everything. There is no one magical thing that you can do that will work for you. Some things work for some people. Some things work for other people. You just gotta like.
Unless you're God.
Yeah, unless you're God.
Unless you're God.
Or Carl.
Where'd he go? He was down here somewhere. Also, all I can see now whenever I stare at anybody's face is like a giant red, blackish blob because I was staring into a light for too long. Yay.
Carl Blobbo vision.
The Carl Blobbo vision. That usually happens when I drink too much.
Also, if you want to lose weight, stop drinking beer.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is empty calories.
It is.
The
Shots,
body is
guys,
not
do
for that.
shots. You'll get drunk, you just don't do a lot of them, but you know, do shots every now and then.
The only beer I drink is Irish cream.
I don't like beer.
Yeah.
I'm not a beer guy. I like fruity drinks.
What about mixed drinks?
Mixed drinks usually have some type of soda that have really bad juices in it. If you're gonna mix drink,
Usually it's sugar water with flavors added.
yeah, I mean, do it sparingly. Every once in a while, I mean, vodka tonic, but that tastes like crap. I mean, everyone that says they like vodka tonics are lying to you. It tastes really bad.
So yeah, I'm just not gonna say anything about drinking and nutrition. It's bad for you.
Yeah, we don't recommend it.
Yeah, we don't recommend it, but I am saying that Palpu fruit mixed drink is good. That Palpu fruit though. And the Master Chief. The Master Chief is also good. I had that at RTX last weekend. I was so happy. my buddy got to ride a mechanical bull in Sparta.
Yeah, I saw that.
It was freaking fantastic. I'm part of the 405th and we did some fun things. I'm just saying. Hey guys, how's it going? Why are we here again?
Oh yeah, did anybody else have any questions real quick that they wanted us to like cover? If not, we'll just keep
go with
covering.
your own personal
Yes, go
workouts
ahead.
and stuff.
So this is sort of related to what you were saying earlier about
About my blob?
Carl Blobbo vision.
Carl Blobbo vision. I'm sorry. Continue.
about eating protein before or after you exercise.
Yes.
I recently started swimming about an hour and a half every morning. So, I mean, my goal isn't like to get ripped or anything. I just want to get some muscle tone. So, I mean, what would you recommend in terms of eating wise?
You said you were swimming, or?
Yeah, swimming for about an hour and a half in the mornings.
Okay, so swimming it's cardio. You're gonna basically use up more fat and things, and you're gonna get leaner, and you'll tone.
Yeah,
But
that's what I'm looking for. So.
the thing is, I gained weight from swimming, but that's also because I did weights along with it. So if you are going to swim, be sure to also keep up with enough food, plus doing a little bit of weight so that your body knows where to put that protein and carbs and everything in the right area.
So should it be like before or after? And should it be fairly substantial for breakfast?
As far as protein goes, I recommend going out and grabbing a protein shake and drinking that either before or after the workout, 1 hour before, like in that span, or 1 hour after, because the body's more able to put it in the right area.
Yeah, because right now I eat a fairly light breakfast, so I should probably...
Always eat a good breakfast. Like
Yeah.
in the morning, be sure to load up as much as possible, pretty much is what I say. Fun fact, only pretty much eat 1 egg a day. 1 egg has the amount of protein for an entire day. So if you eat too much of that, then your body's going to start storing it as fat.
Oh, body doesn't store it.
Well, not as fat, no. It'll just put it in the wrong place and
Or, yeah.
not use it correctly.
I'm a chicken, I'm allowed to eat as many eggs as I want.
Can you also give me advice on working out like you did?
Okay, I would recommend for you, most of the time whenever somebody comes to me, I tell them what shape do you want to be in, and
Maybe I just want to get all of my fat at least either lost or turned into muscle.
okay, so what you have right there is a body that's very heavy up top. There are 2 types of bodies where it stores fat either up top or down below. What you want to be careful of with it storing up top is it's storing as a fat, as a, it's not visceral, is it? It's an internal fat that will
Yeah,
actually create it so that you have a higher chance of heart disease, which is the #1 killer of Americans.
Yeah, here's a quick little fun fact, just to intervene really quickly. Men and women store fat differently to begin with. Women store fat on the outer parts of
It
themselves.
depends on body actually,
Also-
because it can be either way.
Because I know that with men, it also stores it a lot more internally, like around the hearts and around the organs.
It depends
and stuff
on
like
the person, because there are people that, depending on your gender, like a certain percentage of one gender just has more of those storing that like in that area. But both store it in different ways. What you want to go ahead and do is, yes, do cardio, but I recommend tone as well. So what you want to do is do your cardio, get in maybe 30 minutes to an hour of cardio, and then right after that, do high reps, low weight, okay? So go ahead and hit bench, do some free weights, things like that. Try to work your upper body so that the body knows that you're trying to lose fat up here.
See, I was always told that you should do weights first to build up that muscle, and then when your body's more up the top, start to then do cardio to start burning fat.
Just do cardio. That pretty much, I'm not gonna tell you either way, just do cardio, okay? But so that your body basically primes itself knowing to take the fat away from up here, just do the cardio, and you can do the weights before or after, but be sure to, of course, do cardio.
Yes.
that. Now, don't push, like when you're starting off though, don't push yourself too hard with cardio because, again,
This is new, ease into it.
yeah.
Another fun way to know that you're actually hitting your optimum fat burning area, your caloric intake balance, like taking that away. Whenever running, you run until you can't talk anymore, pretty much.
If you're talking
You're basically, that's your optimum fat burning zone right there, is when you run until you can't talk anymore.
okay.
Which is exactly the opposite of probably what you want to do. Anything but running, not running.
No, I try to at least run 3 miles in an hour.
Any, 4 minutes left?
4 minutes? Oh, I thought you were doing
We got 4 more questions to ask you guys.
Does anybody else have a question that they want, like, specifically towards them?
What about like working around injuries?
Ah.
It depends on the injury.
Yes.
Okay, as a personal trainer, what you learn, this is why the test is so hard, is because it's a very subjective kind of test at points where it actually asks you things like, if somebody has a rotator cuff injury, what workout should they do? And it's kind of up to the personal trainer sometimes. But because sometimes, like, if you have a rotator cuff injury, I like to at least stretch it out by doing some kind of workout in it. But low weights, try not to strain it. What kind of injury are you?
From running, blew out a disc, and
Yeah, you just want to. A lot of times, one of the best things to do is actually go out there and swim. Swimming, the water resistance, it does help a lot. Yeah, because a lot of the problem with actual running and sprinting or anything is the impact, and it'll start to basically degrade the joints and the discs in between all of the bones. makes it really hard. for
If
some
possible,
people.
try not to go like running a lot on like hard paved roads. Try to stick to grass or those little spongy like tracks that they build. things
It's
like that.
better to run on the street asphalt than on like regular pavement. I saw him have his hand.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say that I switched from running to swimming because my knees hurt too much.
Yeah.
Now, I wear bike boots now, and I know when you wear them, you're supposed to go like your toes or the balls of your feet towards the back, towards the heel when running. But I'm wondering, or at least that's what they advertised. I'm just wondering.
He's supposed to go the other way from
Yeah.
back of your feet to.
From when I was also in track in high school, and granted, I'm not going to say my track teachers were all that good. They said, heel to toes as well, but they would also say, don't slam your heels into the ground when doing long distance. And I know why, but it's like, why would we still run like that if it could cause so much damage to our knees and our shins?
See, from parkour, from what the Cal has told me, is that that's actually really bad on you because all that impact, that's what's going to mess up your lower backs, what's going to mess up your knees. It should always just be the front.
I'm also actually also teaching myself parkour recently.
And like it should just be the front of it because when you're running, it should be when you run, it's just front before you can, and then lean forward so you can keep going forward, and that's how you should be running to minimize injury, at least from a parkour perspective.
From parkour, I have to completely disagree. You do want to do kind of a roll with it, but you don't want to slam down. If you go from a slam down straight on your heel, or if you go straight onto your foot, both of them will hurt you quite a bit. One of the reasons why you run right here on the tippy toes is sprinting. That's why with parkour, it's like that. For sprinting, what you do is you run basically on your toes or right there up front. The reason they do that on sprinting and it doesn't hurt as much is because it's short distances. If you were to run like that the entire time, your calves would be dead, okay? That's why with long distance running, you want to get a good roll in there so they'll actually hit and you can keep going. So you just need to make sure that your stride is out there and going. Another thing that you want to do whenever actually doing longer distances is your stride isn't set by your legs. Set it with your arms, okay? So basically don't do, or else your strides are going to be that small. Try to actually shake it out and get out there because your stride will be longer depending on how far or how much you move your arms.
And the main thing is don't stomp. Like you're not marching. You want to, and then usually your upper body you want to tilt it a little forward. So when you're actually stepping, you're going forward. Whereas if you have your body more vertical, upright, it tends to all land on your heel, and then you just kind of like stomp, stomp, stomp.
Like don't land on your heel, but make sure it's a nice fluid motion.
Yeah,
Just
just roll
fly, just fly everywhere.
Yeah.
Just spread those wings.
Like that. I'm gonna go with that. It is 7 o'clock, guys, and that was our panel.
Yeah.
If you're listening, do yoga.